Hello and welcome to Pushing Back, Ukraine Daily Brief. As the war enters its 765th day, these are the main developments from the past 24 hours. Russia has lost approximately 441,520 troops in Ukraine since the beginning of the war, the General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces reported. The number, which has not been independently verified, includes 730 casualties over the past day. According to the released Ukrainian figures, Russia lost 29 tanks, 20 armored combat vehicles, 15 artillery systems, 1 air defense system, 45 drones, 24 cruise missile, 25 vehicles and 7 pieces of special equipment. Belgium approved the 25th military aid package for Ukraine, valued at €100 million. The funds will be allocated to the maintenance and support of the F-16s within the framework of the international coalition. The update from the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. There were 61 combat engagements. The enemy launched a total of 38 missile and 59 airstrikes, carried out 72 multiple launch rocket system attacks on positions of Ukrainian troops and various settlements. The Ukrainian Air Force launched airstrikes on 1 command post, 1 anti-aircraft missile system and 10 concentrations of troops, weapons and military equipment of the occupiers. The Ukrainian missile forces hit 2 concentrations of troops, 2 anti-aircraft missile systems and 1 artillery system of the Russian invaders. In its latest intelligence update, the UK's Ministry of Defence reports Russia has slowly advanced west of Avdiivka, capturing some villages. They are attacking along other parts of the front line but haven't made much progress recently. Russia has more weapons and equipment than Ukraine and is likely adding 30,000 soldiers a month. This allows them to keep fighting despite losses. In its latest intelligence update, the Institute for the Study of War. The Russian Orthodox Church Moscow Patriarchate, ROK-MP, a Kremlin-controlled organization and a known tool within the Russian hybrid warfare toolkit, held the World Russian People's Council in Moscow on March the 27th and 28th and approved an ideological and policy document tying several Kremlin ideological narratives together in an apparent effort to form a wider nationalist ideology around the war in Ukraine and Russia's expansionist future. The Russian Orthodox Church Moscow Patriarchate intensified Kremlin rhetoric about Russia's war in Ukraine and cast it as an existential and civilizational, holy war, a significant inflection for Russian authorities who have so far carefully avoided officially framing Russia's invasion of Ukraine as any kind of war. The Russian Orthodox Church Moscow Patriarchate called for the codification of elements of the Ruski Mir and may be gauging public support for the formal inclusion of ethnic Ukrainians and Belarusians in the Kremlin's concept of the Russian nation. The Russian Orthodox Church Moscow Patriarchate heavily emphasized Russia's need for traditional family values and an updated migration policy to counter Russia's ongoing demographic crisis. The Russian Orthodox Church Moscow Patriarchate appears to be combining previously parallel Kremlin narrative efforts into a relatively cohesive ideology focusing on national identity and demographic resurgence that promises Russians a period of national rejuvenation in exchange for social and civic duties. Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief Colonel General Alexander Syrsky stressed that material shortages from delays in Western security assistance are constraining Ukrainian forces and forcing Ukraine to conduct a strategic defense. The Russian military likely expanded the target set for Russia's strike campaign against Ukraine's critical infrastructure to include hydroelectric power plants. Russia vetoed an annual United Nations Security Council resolution extending a monitoring panel tracking adherence to UN sanctions against North Korea on March 28. The Kremlin appears to have succeeded in pressuring Telegram to further censor extremist content following the March 22 Crocus City Hall attack, highlighting the Kremlin's ability to pressure significant actors within the Russian information space to act in its interests. The Russian Ministry of Defense is preparing for Russia's semi-annual spring conscription cycle, which will begin on April 1. Russian occupation authorities continue law enforcement crackdowns, including against the Crimean Tatar ethnic minority, to consolidate control over occupied Ukraine. Russian forces recently made confirmed advances near Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and Donetsk City and in the Donetsk-Zaporizhia Oblast border area. In Zelensky's nightly briefing, he covered several significant points. Firstly, he discussed the aftermath of recent Russian strikes targeting Ukraine's energy sector, particularly hydroelectric power plants. He highlighted the need for joint efforts to protect these facilities and the importance of international support. Secondly, he spoke about securing weapons and ammunition for upcoming Ukrainian actions against Russia. He appointed Alexander Litvinenko as the new National Security and Defense Council Secretary, tasked with improving defense coordination, and Alexei Danilov as the new Ukrainian ambassador to Moldova, focusing on regional security and bilateral cooperation. Lastly, he spoke about a petition against online gambling platforms had gained traction, and he ordered a report on its societal impact and potential solutions. Ukraine's First Lady, Alina Zelenska, attended the meeting of Barrier Free Council and emphasized that Ukraine needs real solutions for people with disabilities. More than 3 million citizens deserve more. The event presented the Guide to Barrier-Free Events. It is a new handbook that gives recommendations on how to organize an event where each participant with war experience will feel comfortable. The guide covers everything from communication to interior design. Thanks for following today's updates. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. We'll return tomorrow with the latest news on the ongoing conflict.